We're making a video for you today, and this is Merritt, my helper. I have a little cow, and he says, make a moo sound. Moo!
Yeah, great job.
And we're reading a book today about Belinda the Cow. So, this is Belinda, and this is one of the favorite books we had about Belinda the Cow. Bessie and old Tom live in the country. Every morning, old Tom works in his garden. There's always plenty to do. He grows cucumbers and carrots. He grows pumpkins and parsley. He grows beetroot and beans and lots of other vegetables. Every morning, Bessie milks Belinda the cow. There's always plenty of milk. She gives some to the dog. She gives some to the cat. She puts some aside for old Tom and herself. And with the cream, she makes the butter for their bread. And the skim milk she gives to the pig. One day, Bessie packed her bag, put on her coat and hat, and went to stay with her daughter. Okay, moo, Merritt. Moo! Her daughter lived in the city. She left old Tom to milk Belinda the cow and make the butter and feed the dog and the cat and the pig. So the next morning, old Tom was up very, very early. He took the bucket and the stool and set out to find Belinda. Belinda was chewing in the front corner of the paddock. He sat on the stool and placed the bucket carefully between his knees. Gently, he put his hand on her cheek. "There's a good girl," he crooned. Okay, say moo.
Moo!
Moo! And whack! Belinda gave one almighty kick, and old Tom flew high in the air and landed with a thud in the mud. Belinda was off, and old Tom was off after her. Belinda said, say moo. Moo! Around and around they went, mooing and trotting. Around and around and around they went, until old Tom was quite out of breath. What was old Tom to do? There would be no milk for the dog, no milk for the cat, or the pig, or for old Tom, or butter for his bread. What was old Tom to do? He went to the shed and took a rope from the wall. Then he went to his garden and pulled up the biggest, fattest carrot he could find. And then with these, he set out to catch Belinda. Moo, crooned old Tom. Let's hear you moo. Moo! There's a pretty girl, fat carrot. Come on to old Tom. There's a good girl. Moo, answered Belinda. Say moo. Merritt, say moo. And she cautiously and carefully inched towards the carrot.
Oh, Daddy.
Moo,
Hi,
bellowed
Daddy.
Belinda. And she snatched the carrot from old Tom's outstretched hand. Whoa! Cried old Tom as he landed with a thud in the mud. Belinda took off and old Tom took off after her. Around and around they went, mooing and trotting. Around and around and around they went, until old Tom was quite out of breath. Now, what was old Tom to do? If he couldn't catch Belinda, he couldn't milk her. And if he couldn't milk Belinda, there'd be no milk for the dog or the cat or the pig. No milk for old Tom and no butter for his bread. What was old Tom to do? He thought and he thought and he thought and he thought and he thought. At last he stood up. He had an idea. He strode into the house. He took Bessie's pink dress from the wardrobe and put it on. The dress was too big. So he took a pillow from the bed and he pulled and pushed and stuffed and shoved until at last the pillow was with him inside the dress. Then he tried Bessie's apron. He tied it firmly around his middle to hold everything in place. He put on Bessie's big straw hat and he pulled on Bessie's big rubber boots. In this disguise, he set out to milk Belinda the cow. Does he look funny? Belinda was chewing in the far corner of the paddock. She looked up, blinked,
Mama.
and then went on chewing. Quietly, old Tom came closer and closer. He sat on the stool.
Mama.
He placed the bucket carefully between his knees, and gently he put his hand on her teeth. This time old Tom didn't say a word. He squeezed, and warm white spray made a ping in the empty bucket.
Cow.
Cow, what's the cow say? Moo! And squirt, 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 squirt. The milk crept up and up until the bucket was full, and no more milk would come. Now there was plenty of milk. There was milk for the dog, the cat, milk for old Tom, and cream to make butter for his bread. There was even plenty of skim milk for the pig. When Bessie came home, she wondered how her pink dress came to have mud on the hem. She almost said, "Who's been wearing my dress?" But old Tom had been the only one at home, and it couldn't have been old Tom, could it? Say moo one more time. Moo! Wave to the kids and say bye. Have a good day.
Bye.